Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Diplomats Desk. I am your host Meet Shah. So cricket has always been more than a sports for India. It has been a bridge, a message and a diplomatic handshake. And over the decades, India has quietly used cricket to build trust, strengthen partnerships and soften relationships with countries across the world. So let's travel through the real moments where cricket shaped India's foreign relations and, more importantly, understand how each moment actually improved the future between India and those nations. We begin with Australia, one of the India's most important cricket and diplomatic partners. In March 2023, during the fourth test in Ahmedabad, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese rode around the stadium together. Now, this was not just a photo opportunity, it symbolized 75 years of diplomatic partnership. Following that event, Australia accelerated visa processing for Indian students, expanded university campuses into India, and strengthened defense exercises like AUSINDEX. So, a simple cricket appearance helped humanize the partnership and push cooperation into new areas. The same thing happened years earlier. During the 2015 World Cup, Modi contacted Australia with personal congratulatory message after their win. Unusual, yes, but it set a tone of professional respect that made it easier for the two nations to expand trade agreements in years that followed. So, now let's turn to England. Back in January 1996, Prince Charles attended an India England ODI in New Delhi. This was a turning point, not on the field but in relationship. For decades after independence, India and England were rebuilding trust. But the royal family's public embrace of Indian cricket became a cultural reset. In the years after, education partnerships expanded, tourism between the two nations grew, and by 2017, the India UK Year of Culture showed just how far the relationship had come, with cricket acting as one of its warmest symbols. Another powerful moment came in 2013 when British Prime Minister David Cameron played cricket with Indian school children in Mumbai. He wasn't there for runs. He was there to soften the UK's image after visa restrictions and economic tensions, and it worked. Student visas for Indians were expanded soon after, and cultural ties strengthened noticeably. Let's talk about Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka offers an even more emotional example. After the devastating 2004 tsunami, India stepped in immediately, not just with aid but with cricket. Charity matches held in early 2005, including the World 11 versus Asia 11 series, generated funds and global attention for Sri Lanka's recovery. This was not just sports charity, it was diplomacy with empathy. Over the next decade, India and Sri Lanka deepened cooperation on trade, maritime security, and cultural tourism. Cricket had reopened the door to trust. Bangladesh is another nation where India quietly used cricket as a relationship builder. During the 2011 Cricket World Cup in Dhaka, the presence of India's top leaders helped reinforce a narrative that the India's respected Bangladesh's growing stature. Soon after, both countries signed improved border agreements, opened new trade routes, and expanded energy cooperation. Cricket did not create diplomacy here, it made diplomacy easier. One of the most meaningful diplomatic moves in cricket history happened with South Africa. In November 1991, India became the first nation to invite South Africa back into the international cricket after the end of apartheid. So this wasn't just a tour, it was India telling the world that South Africa deserved a second chance. That series at Eden Gardens became a symbol of acceptance and the long-term impact was huge. South Africa and India later became partners in BRICS, IBSA, and multiple economic forums. That cricket match did not just welcome a team, it welcomed a nation back into global society. New Zealand's diplomacy with India has always been rooted in mutual respect. The 2019 World Cup semi-final, despite breaking a million Indian hearts, became a moment of global admiration for the sportsmanship between the two sides. New Zealand soon after made India one of its top tourism targets and expanded business visas. Cricket helped maintain a positive relationship even in defeat. One of the most inspiring stories come from Afghanistan. Between 2012 and 2019, India gave Afghanistan its cricketing home grounds in Noida, Dehradun, and Lucknow. India built facilities, trained players, and supported the Afghanistan Cricket Board politically. This was not just a small gesture, it fundamentally shaped Afghanistan cricket rise. And in 2007, when Afghanistan was granted test status, India was one of the key nations pushing for their elevations. In return, Afghanistan has consistently expressed diplomatic warmth towards India, supported India in global forums, and built one of the region's friendliest cultural relationships. Now, along with the government diplomacy, some of the India's cricket legends played important unofficial diplomatic roles. For example, Sunil Gavaskar has been invited by the Ministry of External Affairs multiple times as a cultural figure to represent India, especially in Australia and England. Sachin Tendulkar, as a Rajya Sabha member and global icon, has met world leaders from Barack Obama to Australian prime ministers, reinforcing India's soft image every time. Kapil Dev has attended Commonwealth diplomatic dinners with India-UK relations were often strengthened behind the scenes. Rahul Dravid has represented India in youth and education diplomacy, especially in Indo-Australian university collaborations. Anil Kumble, through his ICC leadership and UN engagements, has portrayed India as a nation of fair play and modern governance. Even MS Dhoni, through military linked events, has carried India's image into international strategic circles. So, these cricketers were never a secret agents, but they were cultural ambassadors, trusted faces who could soften the rooms, humanize policies, and open doors that politicians alone sometimes could not. So, what does all this tells us? It tells us that the India has mastered a very special kind of diplomacy. Not diplomacy through pressure, not diplomacy through force, not but diplomacy through emotions, through cricket, through sports. Even match attended by a leader, even handshake between captains, every charity event, every gesture of sportsmanship, they all shape how nations view India. So, cricket has built friendship, rebuilt trust, healed wounds, and opened conversations that might never have happened otherwise. So, this is the hidden power of Indian cricket diplomacy, and its story is still being written. So, if you like this video, hit like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.